Now listen to this. Nervos with its token CKB is the first fully Bitcoin-isomorphic Layer 2 solution. And their goal is to bring Bitcoin and the Nervos blockchains closer by making all transactions appear simultaneously on both Bitcoin and Nervos blockchains. In September alone, the Nervos network surged by 130% and breached the top 100 cryptocurrencies. Nervos network's rise can be partially attributed to its listing on the South Korean exchange Upbit and increasing interest from institutional buyers. Now, Nervos Network is one of the most promising Layer 1 blockchain projects designed to provide a solution to the interoperability issues plaguing the entire crypto world. The platform enables developers to build decentralized applications with the flexibility of Layer 2 scaling while benefiting from the security of Layer 1. So this dual layer approach offers scalability, security, and decentralization, features that have caught the eyes of institutional and retail investors alike. But before we dig deeper into the fresh-faced cryptocurrency Nervos network and what makes it unique, I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. You see, it is truly with great conviction and hard work that I try to provide you top quality projects. So do me a favor, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel, join the live streams that might be on tomorrow so that you can become among the top 1%. My name is Nico Arachi and I am a real investor. The development team's unconventional approach is evident in the Nervos network's design. The blockchain is open source, the technology supports multiple assets, and the architecture is made up of several layers and a number of protocols. Nervos' dual layer architecture involves two layers. Now, the Layer 1 base layer, also called the common knowledge base, is where the network achieves consensus using proof of work. And this layer has its own cryptocurrency called CKB, or the ticker CKB, which fuels the Nervos ecosystem. Moving on to Layer 2, which is the computational layer, where transactions are processed in real time and where developers carry out programming tasks. Now let's explore the fundamental characteristics, which are the following. Now, CKB is the only blockchain on the market that supports all cryptographic primitives. It can seamlessly interoperate with all heterogeneous blockchains and anchor all types of side chains, state channels, and Layer 2 networks. Now, moreover, it comes with protocol level account abstraction by default, enabling decentralized applications boasting unmatched user experience. Supreme security and decentralization. CKB leverages the battle-tested proof-of-work consensus algorithm to ensure exceptional security and decentralization under all conditions. It is truly decentralized, permissionless, and uniquely resistant to capture by adversarial actors. Modular architecture. Nervos was designed as a modular blockchain network from the get-go, meaning it can scale to millions of transactions per second through many diverse Layer 2 networks without sacrificing security or decentralization. CKB offers pristine security, while the Layer 2 networks built on top ensure unbounded scalability. Utility-driven tokenomics. CKB leverages a novel tokenomic model that aligns the interest of all Nervos participants and stakeholders. It ensures that the miners are paid for providing security to the network in perpetuity. In addition, it's worth mentioning that the hash rate represents the security of the CKB network. And hash rate is the collective measure of the miner base's computational power for a POW, proof of work, blockchain. Now, hash rate on the CKB network has been setting new all-time highs in 2024. On May 25th, the average CKB hash rate reached 399.21 petahashes per second, which is the highest in the history of the network. Now, part of this increase in hash rate is due to the fact that on April 18, 2024, Binance launched a mining pool for CKB. Now let's move on to the tokenomics. The CKB token, also known as CKB token, is the native token of the Nervos ecosystem. And the CKB token has three primary use cases, and they are as follows. First, grant token holders data storage rights. Second, is expended as network fees for transacting on the network. And third and final, is issued as block rewards to miners for securing the network. Now, cycles and gas fees are paid once to process transactions. State rent is paid continuously to store data on the Nervos blockchain, and according to Nervos, owning one CKB token entitle holders to 1 byte of data storage. Now let's look at some early history and the team behind the Nervos network. Now, according to Hasib Qureshi of crypto investment firm Dragonfly Capital, Nervos launched in China and was founded by Yan Shi, Daniel Liu, Kevin Wang, and Terry Tai. Now, 2 of the 4 founders had experience developing Ethereum, with Shi having worked as a core Ethereum developer and Daniel having co-founded an Ethereum wallet called Token. Nervos launched its mainnet in November 2019, and the project has partnered with companies such as, and they are big, China Merchants Bank International, Huobi, and Sequoia China in the past. Now, after Dragonfly invested in Nervos in December 2019, they saw several innovations that distinguish Nervos from other Layer 1 blockchains. Now, for one, Nervos is designed from the ground up to be a multi-tiered network. At its base sits the Nervos blockchain, a high-throughput proof-of-work chain that provides high security and decentralization to all upstream Layer 2s. So what makes Nervos unique? Well, the contract kernel of Bitcoin. You see, Nervos CKB is the first fully Bitcoin-isomorphic Layer 2 solution utilizing proof-of-work and UTXO models. Its main goal is to enhance Bitcoin by adding programmability and scalability through the RGB++ protocol and the UTXO stack and the CKB Lightning Network without relying on cross-chain bridges. This aims to foster a thriving Bitcoin ecosystem. Now, compared to other Bitcoin Layer 2s, CKB is more decentralized, secure because of the proof-of-work consensus, and Bitcoin compatible. It has a similar data structure, cell and UTXO models, and a similar UX because users can use Bitcoin addresses and wallets to access CKB assets. I did mention RGB++, and that is important to speak a little bit more about. You see, in the 3rd week of February, the CKB token rose over 170% after Nervos developers announced the release of the RGB++, which is a protocol expected to increase compatibility between Bitcoin and Nervos. Now, firstly, RGB is a Bitcoin-based protocol that brings smart contract capabilities to Bitcoin and Lightning Network. RGB++ is an extension of the RGB protocol that maps Bitcoin transactions to the Nervos blockchain. So the RGB++ is expected to bring the Bitcoin and Nervos blockchains closer by making all RGB++ transactions appear simultaneously on Bitcoin and Nervos blockchains. Client verification was touted as one of the use cases of RGB++, where users can check the correctness of their Bitcoin RGB++ transactions on Nervos blockchains. Now, according to the RGB++ light paper, other use cases of the RGB++ protocol were token issuance, NFT issuances, enhanced privacy, airdrops, and AMM support. Now let's look at some recent news. You see, Nervos CKB has recently announced the release of the next generation Open Lightning Network going by Fiber Network, and it's live now. Fiber Network operates as a Layer 2 off-chain scaling solution similar to the Bitcoin Lightning Network, offering decentralized, rapid peer-to-peer transactions for RGB++ assets. Now, it supports tokens issued on the CKB blockchain and features off-chain payment channels, multi-hop routing, and cross-chain compatibility with the Bitcoin Lightning Network. The network went live for testing last week, aiming to address scalability and high-fee issuers seen in blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Nervos are hoping that Fiber Network will enhance transaction speed, reduce costs, and accommodate multiple assets across various networks. Joy ID also announces support for BTC and CKB Lightning Network and introduces stablecoin payment. So the Joy ID passkey wallet will support the Lightning Network on both Bitcoin and Nervos CKB. By integrating the Lightning Network, Joy ID users will experience faster, more efficient transactions with enhanced scalability. In addition, Joy ID will also introduce stablecoin payment, allowing users to make payments with stablecoins directly within the wallet. Now, at the same time, Joy ID will integrate UTXO staking protocol, enabling users to easily stake BTC and CKB and stablecoins in order to enhance liquidity on the Lightning Network. So with Joy ID's user-friendly passkey technology, staking is going to become simpler and more accessible by offering a more user-friendly, secure, and scalable wallet. Joy ID is truly dedicated to promoting the mainstream adoption of the Lightning Network and advancing both the BTC and CKB ecosystems. We also got some price predictions, and the first one comes from Wallet Investor, and they believe we're going to see a high of 0.036 in 2025. Second one comes from Trading Beasts, and they're seeing a high in 2025 of only 0.025. And the last one comes from digitalcoin.com, and they predict that the price will hit 0.041 in 2025. So digitalcoin will come way more optimistic than Trading Beasts and Wallet Investors. So before we end, I always like to give my 2 cents on the dollar. Now, I gotta be honest with you, we are neither holding nor have we invested into Nervos, but I find it highly, highly interesting. And as always, this is not financial advice. You need to do your own research, as I don't know shit about crypto. However, I do believe that several factors contribute to the bullish outlook of the Nervos network. Now, firstly, Nervos has the technology foundation that appeals to developers, investors, and enterprises all across the board. So the ability to facilitate interoperability between different blockchain networks obviously makes it a valuable asset in an increasingly fragmented crypto space. Additionally, Nervos has recently made headlines with its significant developments in enhancing network scalability. Obviously, we have seen that led to more interest from institutional investors. And usually institutional investors do a proper due diligence prior to investing. That's all I got to say about that. Stay strong, stay safe, and God bless America.